Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. Are you a fan of rose-based fragrances? This fragrance has Turkish rose in it, and it also possesses a very unique soap accord. And so when I had the opportunity to smell this fragrance about 2 to 3 weeks ago, I fell in love. I think it's marketed for women. I find it to be totally unisex. This is called Bulle de Rose by Parfums De Rosine. I'm so excited to give you my thoughts on this fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Parfums De Rosine Bulle de Rose, and I tell you all about this fragrance, brand new 2021 release, so it came out last year, but it is technically new, and I'm so excited to talk to you about the smell. I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Of course, make sure to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, and give this video a thumbs up if you take something of value from today's video. Now, this brand has been around for such a long time, and I've had the opportunity to try some of their other fragrances, but I never got around to acquiring one until now. So this has such a unique note breakdown 2021 release composed by Serge de Oliveira, who has done fragrances for Chloe and Bon Parfumeur and Alfa Romeo, and a really amazing resume. And this fragrance has a Turkish red rose ingredient in it. It also has tomato leaf. It has ambroxan, cypriol, patchouli, sandalwood. In the opening, it has blackcurrant, elemi resin, a little bit of bergamot, but that soap accord is so unique, and it's not a gimmicky ingredient. It's not a novelty ingredient. It coalesces and blends with the rose so beautifully. In any case, I'm excited to talk to you about the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. Now, in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get this really lush, organic, yet smooth, slightly timid, but also sensual and flirtatious rose note. So it has this red rose ingredient from Turkey, and it smells divine. I am a huge fan of rose-based fragrances. You probably know that about me. Lyric for Men by Amouage is one of my favorites, but this is done quite differently, right? Lyric has incense and lime. This opens up with blackcurrant or cassis, and it gives the fragrance a little bit of a musky component. And I think the musk is complemented so well by that ambroxan that's anchored in the base. And it's also helping the bergamot to sort of provide a little bit of freshness to this fragrance. So in terms of a rose or a floral fragrance, it's not heady, it's not too sharp. It's actually rather smooth and versatile and very easy to wear. But it also has that elemi resin in the opening, which I think is kind of the star of the show once the blackcurrant, has enough of the spotlight and feels content. The elemi resin comes to the fore, and it's this sort of bright yet slightly incensey exotic resin that I personally love the smell of. I know elemi is also found in Beloved for Men by Amouage. It's found in A Midsummer Dream by Roja Parfum. I have many fragrances with elemi resin in it. And in the case of this fragrance, yes, it is still secondary to the rose, but I think the freshness with the ambroxan, the exotic quality from the elemi, the bergamot, but also that soap accord is creating this, heart of purity in this fragrance that I think is done quite beautifully. And I think it's that soapy accord, and as I'm moving my hand around, I'm getting whiffs of it, and it's really delightful. I think that that's the component in this fragrance that is creating that unisex factor, that gender bender quality, and the versatility of the fragrance. Now, you do have a little bit, just a tiny bit of that creamy sweetness coming from the sandalwood. The patchouli I don't think is too pronounced. You have some very dry, leafy, bitter varieties of patchouli. Then you have that earthy, chocolatey, mouth-watering patchouli. I personally get neither from this fragrance. I'm sure there's patchouli in there. I don't think, you know, the perfumer would say there is if there isn't. But I personally just don't get any too strongly to my nose. But I am getting that beautiful rose with the ambroxan. I'm getting a little bit of a verdant quality from it, and I'm guessing it's coming from the tomato leaf, and I'm trying to compare it to like an Hermes that I own, and I really can't. I just find this fragrance to be so gentle, but flirtatious and versatile and musky, yet clean and unique and just very youthful and contemporary. And I think if you're a fan of rose, this is such a beautiful release that came out in 2021, especially if you're looking for a rose that's on the cleaner side of things, right? A lot of the rose fragrances, and this might be a good thing for you, but a lot of the rose fragrances that we're seeing on the market are usually coupled with agarwood or oud. And so I think that leaves a lot of people very satisfied, especially if you're a fan of a lot of these Middle Eastern inspired fragrances. But it also leaves a lot of people feeling a little bit disenchanted because it's a combination that is perhaps a bit overdone. So here you have rose that's on the clean side of things in a really cute bottle. And I just personally love this fragrance. My wife really loves this fragrance as well, and she's not a huge fan of rose, right? So this is a new olfactive, you know, blueprint in my collection, and I have really just loved exploring it over the past couple of weeks. So I hope you have the opportunity to try it. I'm going to leave all of the e-commerce links down below, not affiliate links at all, but if you are interested in learning more about it, I'm going to leave links down below. So thank you for watching. Let's go ahead and conclude this review with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, like I said, I love rose. Everything from Lyric for Men to Noir de Noir by Tom Ford. But this is such a different rose, a very light, clean, airy, pure, musky, creamy rose with a verdant quality that you must check out. Overall smell is very pleasant, very different, and it also has a level of uniqueness that I really admire. In terms of the longevity on this fragrance, you can expect it to last at least 7 to 8 hours on your skin. The projection was great for the first hour of application. It radiated just a little bit beyond an arm's length. It did start to sit at about an elbow's length, right around that 4-hour mark. It wasn't until that 7-hour mark that it started to sit very close to the skin, thus becoming a skin scent. And right around that 8-hour mark, it kind of disappeared. And I think it's because a lot of the bright, citrusy, ambroxan, fresh, soapy qualities, that it's not perhaps as loud as some of the other offerings from the brand. But with this type of a DNA, it gives you the projection that you're looking for, which is great. Versatility is also really, really good for this one. I think perhaps some people might not want to wear it in the dead of winter, but if you're wearing it in a climate controlled environment, you can wear it anytime you want. I think it's marketed for women. I personally find it to be completely unisex, and I think this one can be worn casually on account of that bright, fresh, soapy quality, but I think it can also be worn formally because of that really spellbinding quality of the rose. And I think this one will appeal to anybody of any age. And the presentation on this one is gorgeous. To conclude things off, the name Bulle de Rose means rose bubble or rose bubbles, which is kind of cool given that soapy rose accord that's in here. So my final verdict on this fragrance is, if you are a fan of the smell of rose and you're looking for a new take on rose that is a soliflor, because I don't believe there are any other floral ingredients, but it creates a soapy accord to complement the rose so beautifully, please check out Bulle de Rose by Parfums De Rosine. I think this is a beautiful release for 2021, and I'm so excited to wear it more in the coming months, but also feature it in upcoming lists on my channel. So there you have it, ladies and gents. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this review, my review of Bulle de Rose by Parfums De Rosine. If you own or have tried this fragrance or any fragrance by the brand, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to support this channel by subscribing to it. If you took something of value from today's video, all you got to do is click on that red button in the corner. Make sure to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell icon. And of course, give this video a thumbs up. It would assist with the YouTube algorithm tremendously. Thanks again for watching. Love you all. We'll see you soon.